Today we're going to talk about HRAs, otherwise known as Health Reimbursement Accounts. New regulations have come from the IRS as well as the Department of Labor that can significantly change things for the year 2020. Staffing agencies and staffing firms in particular can be affected most by these new regulations, and they may now have a new way to stay compliant with the Affordable Care Act laws.
Hey, if you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing. Give us a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Let us know what type of content you'd like to see us cover next. Thanks.
So HRAs are account-based group health plans that have traditionally been used by employers to reimburse certain medical expenses. Under the prior law, funds that were allocated for HRAs could not be used to reimburse employees for the actual individual health policy itself. This new ruling is about to change all of that. Regulations of the Affordable Care Act previously barred employers from using a certain amount of money that they can then allocate through the use of an HRA to employees for them to be able to buy individual health insurance policies. This did not meet all of the requirements of the Affordable Care Act. So if an HRA was to be used, it had to be used in tandem with a qualified health plan or a group health plan that the employer was already implementing. So last October, following a presidential executive order, the Department of Labor as well as the IRS put in place a policy that allowed them to essentially reverse their take or stance on these individual HRAs, now allowing these funds to be allocated towards the individual policies of employees. Under these new regulations, a new class of employees have been created specifically for the staffing industry. These are known as temporary employees of staffing firms. What this does specifically for staffing firms allows them to offer HRAs to these temporary employees while offering more of a traditional group health plan to all of their internal employees. Under the Affordable Care Act, there's a term known as an ALE. This stands for Applicable Large Employer. An applicable large employer is simply an employer that has 50 full-time employees or full-time equivalents. Well, for staffing agencies, this has always caused a bit of a problem because they have to keep so many people on payroll at any given time. They have their internal staff, which could be full-time, but they also have these temporary employees that come on. The employer mandate simply says that ALEs have to offer the right type of coverage at the right type of cost, and this coverage needs to be offered to at least 95% of the full-time employees on staff. Lots of times, staffing agencies in particular have a very difficult time determining who is full-time and who is part-time because they are always keeping temporary staff on call in case an assignment comes up. So, as a safeguard against the A penalty associated with the employer mandate, MEC plans, also known as minimum essential coverage plans, were implemented as a safety net of sorts. Now, there are two different types of penalties associated with the employer mandate. There's the A penalty and the B penalty, okay? But what the MEC plan does is it allows you at least a little bit of insurance with regard to the A penalty. A lot of employers offered this MEC coverage to new hires as soon as they came on, whether they had reached a full-time status or not. So an individual HRA is in and of itself a group health plan. So offering these new HRAs will constitute an offer of coverage that satisfies the need to offer this coverage and will exempt employers from the A penalty. This is important because it provides staffing companies with an alternative to the previously used MEC plans. So the other side of the coin is the B penalty, and historically this is where these MEC plans have fallen short. So the law says that you have to offer the right type of coverage, but it also says you have to offer this coverage at the right type of cost. Specifically, the employer is to offer a plan that is no more expensive than 9.86% of the employee's household income. I know this can get confusing, but essentially the premium that the employee pays cannot be more than 9.86% of their household income. Again, not meeting these requirements can subject the employer to a B penalty. Also, under this portion of the law, the health plan offer needs to meet the minimum value standards, not just minimum essential coverage. So here's the interesting part. Remember, historically, this MEC plan has been offered to these temporary employees that met the requirement under the A penalty, but didn't always meet the requirement under the B penalty. The magic of the new HRA plan is that this HRA plan can be offered and it meets the requirement under the A penalty, but if the HRA plan is affordable, then it can also meet the requirements under a B penalty. In conclusion, this new ruling is really important for staffing agencies because now they have options. Before, they just used the MEC plan. Now they can use these individual HRAs. Now the HRAs still have to be affordable. They still have to be structured properly, but it's really important because now there is a possible alternative for these temporary employees. Now this next part is pure speculation, but we've done a lot of reporting, and one of the things that I would look for in the guidance in the coming year is possible code changes associated with these types of offerings. If that is the case, then we can help you stay compliant here at Sky Insurance Tech. This information is breaking, of course, and as new information comes out, we will report on it. The ACA penalties are steep and compliance is difficult and is getting more difficult every day. Because this is so complicated, we recommend that you use professionals. Talk to your employee benefit broker, talk to your benefits administrator, and visit us at skyinsuranceTech.com to see how we can help.